Hi guys dan selamat kembali ke studio Sembang bersama saya Amy. In the studio this week kita ada seorang yang mesti korang dah tahu. I tak payah explain pun siapa yang ada bersama saya hari ni. Kita ada Johan Ghazali aka Jojo. Hi Jojo, how are you?
What's up Amelia, how are you?
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Akhirnya,
finally.
Ya, korang tak tahulah berapa lama kita dah cuba untuk wujudkan episod Studio Sembang yang berlangsung hari ni. How long has it been since we started talking about it?
Lama sebab
Kan?
it's hard sebab I stick a kucing kan.
Itulah pasal.
And then every time I'm in KL I always have stuff planned, so finally this time a few hours opened up, so
I know, but it's okay. I rasa macam benda ni seperti rezeki lah kan. Bila dia dah sampai, dia dah sampai.
yeah, betul.
Okay, so I'm really ready to ask you some questions.
Alright, let's go.
The thing is, I feel like you've had such an explosive career over so many years, and people have asked you some of these questions before. But just to recap, for those kat luar sana yang mungkin tak tahu sangat pasal Jojo punya latar belakang, how was your childhood?
How was my childhood?
How was your childhood?
Childhood was great. You know, I didn't grow up poor. I didn't grow up susah or anything. And my life was good. My parents took care of me, and I guess, yeah, it was a good childhood. And besides, before Muay Thai, my parents have always pushed me to be the best version of myself. Whether it is Muay Thai, football, taekwondo, whatever, you know, they always put that mindset in me to just be the best. And if you're gonna do it, don't half-ass it. Yeah.
I think, okay, mungkin orang tahu benda ni pasal Jojo, but you come from mixed parentage, right?
Yes.
So your mom is American.
My mom's American, my dad's Malay.
Okay, that's a really cool mix and mungkin agak unique. What was it like growing up with these two different influences in the house? Sebab apa yang Amy tahu kan, I used to live in America.
Yes.
And it's a really different culture there.
Yes.
Everyone's really open-minded and it's kind of in conflict to our Asian society where kita kadang-kadang, you know what I mean?
Yes, very
So what
much.
was it like growing up with the best of both worlds in that sense?
I'm thankful, actually. I'm thankful that I have my mom to open up my mindset and my dad to keep me grounded to, where I'm from. So
yeah.
the funny thing is, my mom comes from New Mexico. New Mexico is the kampung side of US.
Yeah.
It's very rural place. And I asked her, how did you meet Ayah? How did you meet my dad? How did you end up coming to Malaysia? All of a sudden. And she explained from the start. She said that she wasn't racist. She wasn't this or that, but when she grew up, she genuinely thought, keep in mind she was 15, 16, 17, she genuinely thought all Muslims were terrorists because
of the misinformation.
the propaganda, the misinformation towards Asians and people like us, So then she met my dad. She actually met my dad in a Muay Thai gym.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, my dad was studying in the US. And then my mom was supposed to study, but she didn't. She ended up just training. So she met my dad in the Muay Thai gym. 6 months later, she moved back to Malaysia. It's a crazy story if you think about it, because my mom comes from New Mexico. My grandparents were devout Christians. They lived in a church, basically.
Wow.
And then she met this little Muslim Asian guy. And 6 months later, she's converting to Islam. And then her parents have to go through this nikah. And then it's actually a crazy story to think about. So when I try to track back where my I wouldn't say bravery or just spontaneousness comes from, it's from my mom.
Yeah.
It's from my mom. My dad is a more calculate person. Is that a word?
Yeah, calculated.
Calculating.
Or more reserved.
Yes, reserved person. My mom is just fucking go.
Gung ho. She's so cool. No, because I watched, just 5 days mungkin sebelum kita bertemu dekat sini, Jojo ada keluarkan an episode of your own podcast, right? Which I thought was so cool. And you interviewed your mom. And I was like, wow, she's really, really dope. She's so cool. And just how brave do you have to be to after 6 months, just move to a different country?
Yeah, that's crazy. Especially
wild.
She didn't even know where Malaysia was.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when I talk to my mom and she comes at me for doing crazy things, I said, "Ma, you gotta think about what you did. Yours is way more crazy." Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, that's the story behind it. If you guys want to know the full story, you should go and watch Jojo's podcast because you did a really good job hosting that.
Thank you. It was my first one and
of many.
Of many.
Of many.
Soon more to come.
Many.
If I have time, open up.
Yeah. But okay, untuk you guys a sneak teaser of Jojo's episode yang you guys kena tengok selepas ni is that your parents met in a Muay Thai gym.
Yes.
In Oregon.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep. In Oregon.
That's like of all of the places,
it's crazy.
That is rezeki lah. That is called jodoh lah.
Jodoh, 100% jodoh.
Yeah, 100%. Tak ke mana kan. But okay, for someone who grew up being exposed to so much Muay Thai, there was like an interview of yours that I listened to where you had said that honestly it wasn't your first like bet. You didn't actually originally pre-discovering Muay Thai when you were 10. You didn't actually really want to be involved in sports. You weren't so athletic. What was the like first dream before Muay Thai?
First dream?
Do you remember?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just thought I was special. You know,
he's like, I'm selected for something. I don't know what.
It's very narcissistic, but you know, I don't want to say I thought I was better than everyone, but I felt like I was bound to do good things.
You were destined for greatness.
Destined for greatness, basically. But itulah, you know, when before Muay Thai, I wasn't athletic. I wasn't like this gifted fighter who was like shredded and just superhuman strength. No. You know, I was this chubby kid who liked to play my Rubik's Cube and read and just do normal kid stuff. Why are you laughing?
No, because I feel like I've seen you fight, right, Jojo? I cannot imagine you sitting there with a Rubik's Cube. Yeah. Like, that's a contrast.
Like, you can ask my family. Like, back then, if anyone was going to take me to exercise or go run or go to the gym, I would call them stupid.
Really?
I would say, what the hell, you guys, this is for stupid people. You know, why are you guys doing this? But then, after I started Muay Thai, after I got into the ring, and I felt the feeling of fighting, I fell in love. It's love at first sight. Love at first try, yeah. Basically.
I see. I suppose there's a lesson here untuk orang di luar sana kan. Yes. Like, if you don't put yourself in a situation that makes you uncomfortable 100%. Or is different for you, then you might never find the thing that you're super talented at.
Yeah, you gotta try everything. That's the thing I learned, because if I never tried Muay Thai, I don't know what I would be.
No, I know. It's because it's such a huge part of who you are and your identity, right? So you grew up with two parents who obviously really loved Muay Thai. That's how they met each other.
Yes.
That's how you came to be.
Yes.
Right? But I know that you also said that your parents didn't really force you to like take it up or anything. And you kind of like macam terserempak dengan Muay Thai tu lepas you dah pindah ke Sarawak.
Yeah. I would say the relationship with me and Muay Thai is basically jodoh jugalah.
Oh yeah. What? Tell us the story. What happened? How did you meet your jodoh?
How did I meet my jodoh? Okay, me and my mom, we recently moved to Kuching because my dad is a cop.
Yeah.
So he kena transfer ke Kuching lah. And then we were on the way balik daripada sekolah. And then I saw this sign. I was like 9 or 10. I saw this sign that said Muay Thai gym or something. And then my mom, she talked about how she was a fighter, my dad was a fighter and this and that. And then I was interested and I said, why not? Why not give it a try? You know, because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't playing any sports. I was good in school, but basically that was it. You know, so I tried it. My mom said, you sure? You sure you want to try it? She didn't force me. She didn't say, you have to do it. You don't have to do it. So I just tried the first few sessions. I liked it. Me and my brothers joined in too. So after, I think, 3 months, the coach came to me. He came to my mom, actually. He said, your kids are actually good. You know, they can fight. So do you want to let them fight? And then my mom didn't even tell me. She just put my name in and forced me to get into the ring. And I was so pissed. You know, I was like 10. I said, Ma, I don't want to fight. What the hell do I want to fight for? I don't want to get hurt. And then my mom said, I don't care what you want. You got to fight. You got to try at least once. And then if you don't like it, you can stop. But if you like it, you got to keep going. And you will want to keep going. So yeah, back to the thing where my parents didn't force me. Actually, my mom kind of did.
She just signed you up for it. Okay, how did you find out that she had signed you up for this thing? Like, how much time between you finding out and the fight did you have to prep?
I think it was a month, yeah. So I had time to prep, but I didn't have a decision. It was like fight or flight.
Essentially, I guess
I had to. So she came up to me. I was at the gym after training. She said, Jojo, you're going to fight next month. I said, why? I don't want to fight. What do you want? Oh, that's so stupid. Are they going to pay me? No, they're not going to pay me because at the, starting when you just get started
you at 10 being like, where is my check?
Yeah, they're not going to pay me anyways. I'm just going to get hurt. And I have to train for a full month. I have to be like disciplined and dedicated to this thing that I don't even want.
Yeah.
You know, so I had no choice. My mom, it was either I was going to train and fight and have a chance to at least win, or not train, get in the ring and get my ass beat. So I chose the train and stay dedicated and fight. So after the fight, I fell in love. You know, right after I got down from the ring, I asked my mom, "Ma, when's the next one? I want to do the next one." Yes, I loved it. The adrenaline, the glory.
Okay.
The glory.
You're gonna have to explain this one to me like you're explaining it to a child.
Okay.
I have for the record, I've never hit anyone in my entire life. Like I've never even slapped someone.
That's good. That's
good. No, that's great.
That's good.
So what was it about the fight, or what is it about Muay Thai that does it for you? What happens in the ring that like we don't really get to experience as an audience? We get to see it.
Yeah.
Like I've seen you fight, but what's going through your head?
It's very different. It's a very nerve-wracking experience. You know, when you're standing across the ring and you see this guy, he wants to kill you. He genuinely wants to kill you. And your only way out is to like kill him the best you can. You know, beat him as the best you can.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is just a suggestion. I feel like every like grown adult or kid should at least fight once. You know, because you learn so much about yourself. You've tried martial arts, right?
I have.
Yeah.
But never like, I mean, you know, when you do taekwondo in school. So I did taekwondo.
Okay.
I was a red black belt. Okay, thank you very much.
You gotta put your skills to the test.
Yeah, I've never again, not even against a plank of wood, Jojo.
Okay.
That part came in the exam, right? I was like, yeah, this is where I tap out. Thank you very much.
Yeah. The feeling is unmatched. I don't know. I've played so many sports. I've played Muay Thai. I played football. I've played tennis or whatever. You know, you don't get this feeling. It's like, it's just you. Nobody's coming to save you. I feel like it matures people fast, you know, the fighters. So like when you're getting inside a ring, it's just you. Nobody's coming to help you. The ref can't help you. It's either you get in, you beat the guy, or you get beat up. You know, you gotta choose. And some people crack, some people keep going. So yeah, I can't explain the feeling. That's why I'm trying to tell everyone to try.
Yeah. I can kind of like logically understand, but I think that there's so many levels to it, right? Like in that situation, it can go one of two ways. You can either be like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of pressure.
Yes.
I hate that no one's going to save me.
Yes.
Bye. I'm not doing this again, right?
Yes.
Or you can be
there's
like,
two types of people.
There's like two types of people in this world, and maybe that's the thing yang you akan belajar about yourself.
100%.
And obviously we know what type of person you are. You're like, okay, let's go, let's do this, right?
Let's go. I'm not gonna lose. I'm gonna sit down. And there's two types of people, and like you learn so much about yourself. And even if you put yourself in that situation is so uncomfortable. Nobody wants to be in that situation. Even me now. You know, when I'm getting into the ring, I'm telling myself, why the hell are you doing this? Just go home. What you don't need the money, you don't need anything. Like why are you doing this? And you know, I'm so pissed with myself. But after the fight, I feel so good. You know, I just want the next one. So I feel like just this in general, you know, just putting yourself in uncomfortable positions makes you learn so much about yourself. You know, it gives you a different kind of confidence. And yeah, that's one thing, confidence. You know, because before Muay Thai, I wasn't really an outspoken, confident kid. You know, so like, but after Muay Thai, it's like I felt, after I got into the ring, I felt like, oh shit, if I can do this, I can do anything. You know, I can take on the world. So I like the confidence. Yeah, it was like a drug for me.
No, I can understand that. Yeah. Do you feel like Muay Thai gave you that confidence?
No, like I said, I think it's the uncomfortable position. So anything, you know, let's say we're going cliff jumping and I jump and I stand on the cliff, and even if I don't want to, I still jump. You know, I feel like I would get more confidence after that. So anything really.
I think that's a really powerful and interesting thing that you said, right? Because I think for each of us, mungkin dia benda yang berlainan, right?
It's different.
Maybe for me, it's not Muay Thai. Maybe for me, it's just like talking.
That's why I think Muay Thai is like the extreme example.
Yes.
You know, if you want to go straight to the top, then go fight. Yeah, but other than that, of course, just put yourself in. Just do things you don't want to do.
But I think that's exactly what I mean by it's so powerful, right? Untuk orang yang tengah mendengar juga, tak semestinya you guys akan apply benda ni untuk Muay Thai. Tapi the lesson is still there, right? Like, do something that you're not comfortable doing, see how you overcome it, and gain confidence in yourself because you did it.
You don't, like, when I tell people to go fight, it's not that, you know, I don't wish harm on them or anything. I just want them to, it will help you. You know, you'll learn so much about yourself. You'll be confident. I can't explain the feeling. It's like
it's the addictiveness of proving that you can do something.
Yes.
And the sense of self-worth that comes with that.
Yes.
So I completely understand what you're saying. And I think for you, it was especially special because you kind of like blew up, right? Like as soon as you started competing, you were considered like Malaysia's explosive talent, like right from the jump.
Yeah.
You were winning literally everything. Do you remember what it was like at the beginning? I think this was like, what year was this?
20...
You were 16, were you?
2023.
2022 even. I feel like you were already competing, right? And you were doing so well. Yeah. We're talking like before you started competing in Thailand, right? At the time, what was in your head? Did you think that you could go on to become like a full-time Muay Thai professional fighter?
There was this one night. I think it was this one night before big fight. I think I was like 12. You know, I was in bed. I was getting ready to go to sleep. I was watching some fights, you know, like One Championship now, the one that I'm in. So I was watching One Championship fights and I'm watching all the stars. And then I saw this one guy. I saw him. He won this fight, flawless fashion, holding up the belt, screaming at everyone. Everyone's cheering. Everyone's screaming. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. I want to do this. You know, I fell in love again. You know, I just keep falling in love with this sport. So this is what I want to do. And I knew that, you know, that's just my focus. Like every day in training, every fight, I just put my focus on that image of me holding up the belt and screaming to the crowd and everyone's roaring, chanting my name. You know, I love that. I love that feeling.
Yeah. And it's good because you can, like now looking back at it, I feel like you've experienced that actually in your life and you've achieved that goal.
Not quite yet, but I'm getting there.
For us, it looks like you have. Like, we're very proud of you, right?
Thank you.
I think that's a really cool thing for you to mention as well, is the focus that you had doing it. Because I think one of the other questions that I wanted to ask you specifically is that you did so well, so young, Jojo, at a time where, like, this must have been, like, socially kind of tricky for you because, like, who are you supposed to relate to? Like, which of your... No, exactly. That's what I mean. That must have been kind of, like, lonely a bit.
This is definitely lonely. You can... ask my school friends, you know, they would never see me at school. Even if I was there, I was asleep. And even when I went to school, I had black eyes. My hands were broken. And I was focused. I was locked in. But a good thing about it, I love Muay Thai. I love training. And it still doesn't mean it's not lonely, but it compensated, you know. So it was hard. But yeah, you know, I met some of my closest friends and great people from Muay Thai. So there's pros and cons to it, I guess.
And it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, it's always perspective.
It's this mindset thing, I think, with you.
It's always perspective.
Yeah.
And anything bad can be good with the right perspective.
This is so true. But like coming from like a 19-year-old, that's crazy. I learned this last year. Stop.
I mean, it's true. Like say I lose a fight. You look at it from a different perspective. So like, okay, I lose, so what? I'll learn. Maybe I shouldn't have won that fight. You know, just keep going. So what? Yeah, I win. Okay, maybe this is good. Maybe it's not. Just keep going. So I don't really, you know, every moment in my life, I don't look at it as like good or bad because I don't know. I don't know until after. So I just say, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. So I just keep going. And then later on, I look back in retrospect, then I know. So I just keep going and going and going and going. So yeah.
That's the only thing you can do, right?
What else can you do?
Speaking about mindset and looking at things in a specific way. So this was the phase of your life where you were around 16. You had won pretty much absolutely everything. It was like a clean sweep for you in Malaysia. And at that point in your career, you decided, okay, it's time to go and compete in Thailand. Was there like a specific decision-making process behind the scenes, or was it just like, okay, this is the next step because Muay Thai is obviously from Thailand, let's go there?
No. Like I said, you know, ever since I was 12 and I saw that the guy in One Championship holding up the belt, I knew that's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it as soon as possible. And I did everything I can. I still am. I devoted my life basically to getting into One Championship because that's the first step. You know, so I won nationals. I won Sukma. I won national Muay Thai 4 or 5 times something. You know, so Malaysia, I was basically the best in Malaysia. So then I won world championships. and then I'm best in the world in my category. So that was like, I think 15 years old, best in the world at 60 kilograms. So then I moved to professional fighting. So I started fighting in Thailand before one championship. So I started fighting in Thailand. I started fighting at the small stadiums. Started to get wins and losses. You know, it was an up and down. But I just kept going, like I said. And then there's this one fight before one championship I got into. It's like road to one championship. So there's scouts looking at you, and if you fight good and if you have a good performance, they'll take you into one. And I fought a crazy fight. I broke my hand. I remember it was one of my crazy fights. One of the craziest fights I've ever been in. I remember I broke my hand in the first round. I punched his elbow, I think. I was going for the liver, and I punched his elbow, and I broke my hand right here. You guys can see. Maybe you can see. I broke both, actually. So you can see here, and then I broke my thumb because I hit my thumb on his forehead like that. Yeah. And I heard it crack in round 1. And I sat down because it was my first time in small gloves. You know, because before that I used to fight in big gloves.
Yeah.
And it was my first time in small gloves. So I sat down. I told my coach, my hands hurt. He said, shut up, just keep fighting. So I was like, okay. So round 2, I keep fighting. I can't punch. I throw elbows, kicks. And the guy's just punching me and punching me and punching me. And I can't punch back. So round 3, very close fight. I won the fight. I went home. I went to the toilet. I pissed blood. And the next day, the one championship promoter called me. He said, you're in one. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, I expected it, but not that fast. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of things that the fans don't know, and don't know how much I had to sacrifice. You know, even at this young age, you know, people see, oh, he's only 16, he's only 17, he's only 18. But the things I did to get here, it wasn't a surprise for me. You know, because I know how much I sacrificed. The people around me know how much I sacrifice and how much I dedicate myself to this and everything else. You know, if I'm going to do it, I do it 100%. So, yeah, you know, people always ask me, was it shocking to get into one? No, you know, because, like, I knew what I went through. So, yeah.
Okay, I do have a question that's kind of crazy to ask, like, a 19-year-old, but I don't think you're a normal 19-year-old. So I think you are kind of like, you're definitely not normal at all. So you're the right person to ask, right? Yeah. Do you think that when you put in hard work to something, it's inevitable that you will reach success?
I think so.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Maybe like 0.0001%. If they keep working hard, they won't get what they want. But I think God is very, very balanced, very merciful, very fair. Yes, that's the word, very fair. So if anyone puts 100% of their effort into something, they will get what they want. I believe it 100%. I believe, I'm not trying to sound so narcissistic and arrogant, but I believe if I transition into any sport or any career that I want, if I put 100% of my focus into it, I will get what I want. Even acting, I might take over you. No, I'm joking.
Coming from my job. No. But do it, please. I would love you to act.
I would love to one day. But not yet. You know, because that would be splitting my focus into half. You know, because I need laser focus, and yeah, I think it's inevitable. You know, I think God is very fair, and the people who aren't getting what they want are just giving way too much excuses.
Or not putting in enough
Not
energy.
putting in the work, putting in too much excuses, having this victim mindset. You know how people are. You know, like, oh, the world is against me, this and this and this. I've met so many successful people who have been through absolute shit. You know, I'm not talking about myself, because my journey was okay. You know, I had good family. I came from a good family. But I know people who come from nothing, and they still get it done. That's what motivates me. Like, if I come from this and I can't make it, the hell am I doing it for? You know, because people come from absolutely nothing, and they can make it to the highest levels. And yeah, you know, other than maybe if you're disabled or stuff like that, it's not even playing ground. So yeah, if you're perfectly healthy and fine, you have like you said, yeah.
There is an opportunity.
There is an opportunity.
Go after what you want.
Always.
Yeah, that's a that is a crazy unique mindset to have.
Yeah.
That
Do you think so?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree, and I've gotten into trouble for
That's
this.
good. It's okay. Who cares? This is the viral clips.
No, but I've gotten into trouble for this because I agree with you 100%. I
Yes.
think that if you want something, you have to go after yourself.
100%.
Because if you sit there and you think it's like the environment's fault, you're trapping yourself,
It's a victim
right?
mindset. Yeah.
A little bit, and
Slave
unfortunately,
mindset. That's what it is.
but I mean, to be fair, I've been in that mindset as well, right? And it's only because I've been through it that I can have compassion for it.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I kind of don't want to do that to myself again. For whatever reason, whether it's like, oh, why am I, for example, even something as simple as like, why are my friends so mean to me? Or why do I feel bullied? But why am I putting myself in the situation that allows it to happen?
It's your choice.
Yeah.
It's your choice. 100%. Everything is your choice. Even if I can't think of one thing. Okay, let me say that again. You have to take full responsibility of every single choice you make.
Agreed.
So, your life, So what? It's your choice, really. And even us talking about this right now, there's gonna be a few viewers. I'm not gonna say all, but there's gonna be a few viewers who will have this victim mindset and say, "Oh, look at these two people coming from posh ass families. They were given everything and this and this." But I'm sure you worked your ass off to get here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
No.
So it wasn't easy for me either. So we knew what we wanted to do. We put our focus to it, and you can too. Right? Don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. It's just really amazing to hear that coming from you, and also probably a testament to why you are so successful is because it's that mindset that you really have.
Comes from my
with you.
parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Okay, so oh damn, we got into it. Okay, so I guess my next question for you is like in terms of like whenever you've had the encounter of, let's say, like losing in a fight,
Yeah.
right? What's the mindset that you apply to things that like don't go your way in that sense, right?
It's hard because I don't like to lose.
No, of course.
I've lost a bunch of times. There's this one story. I've fought since I was 10. I fought in the World Championship. So I've been representing Malaysia since I was 10. So I fought in the same tournament each year. So this tournament comes each year. So I fight in it. So 2018, 2019, 2021. And then there was one in 2019 as well. So 4 tournaments. I lost them all. I was so pissed because every year I lose. I come back. I'm going to say next year is my year. And then I lose again. Next year is my year. And then I lose again. But the mindset that I have after every single fight is, of course, I'm sad as hell. There's one time where I didn't want to leave my room for like a week. And I was just crying in the shower. I was sitting down because, you put so much effort into it. It takes so much out of you. There's so many things that I miss. I miss birthdays, parties, or all this stuff, time with my family. But So most of the time after a fight, I'm sad as hell because you put so much effort into it. But I would say after a while, I start to think. This was before when I was just starting, so it took me a while, So like after maybe a week, I would think like, what the hell are you sitting down and feeling sorry for yourself? Nobody's gonna come help you. This isn't gonna get you anywhere. So what can you do? You gotta think rationally. You gotta be logic. So I sat down. I said, okay, what did I do wrong? How can I fix this? How can I do that? How can I do that? And just keep going, rather than sit and feel sorry for myself, cry in my room, and think everybody's gonna come save me or something. So you just gotta analyze what you did wrong and just keep going. That's what I think. And it applies to everything. Even in my recent fights, I was pissed. The fight before this, I was so pissed, because I came off a loss. That was already hard. And then I lost again because I went to Thailand for 3 months. I was away from my family. I never really do that. I was away from my family. I was away from the life that I have here in Malaysia, and it's very different because in Thailand, I live in a very small bedroom. I live at the gym. I share a toilet with everyone, and my life is just training, sleep, eat, training, sleep, eat. That's all I do. And then you dedicate your whole life for 3 months, and basically my whole life, for 3 months in that period of time. And then you go to the fight, and the fight is like 9 minutes, and you lose. And I was pissed. But yeah, I sat down, I cried, I got myself together, I analyzed what I did wrong, and then I just keep going. So I think you can never give up, because what if I stopped then? You know, I wouldn't have won last month. So even if I lost last month, I would have just kept doing the same thing.
No, that's how it has to be,
That's
right?
how it has to be. And I feel like the place where most people get stuck is once they fail the first time, they just get stuck in that victim mindset and feeling sorry for themselves and saying the world is against them and this and this and this, you know. So that's where I want to push people, you know. Just keep going, don't stop, no matter what, you know. It's gonna come. Allah is fair.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Yes.
110%. Okay, so this is the thing that I kind of wanted to ask you. You've never really spoken about this, but from my understanding, as also once upon a time, still am a young person who started like working or applying themselves in a super intense environment super early.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like you had a lot that you needed to prove to people? Like, did you ever feel people underestimated you, or you were kind of like the underdog? Because people look at you and they're immediately like, even for me sometimes, and I apologize for this because how stupid of me to ever apply this to you, right? Like I look at you and I'm like, young, right? And whatever that word means to me colors my judgment of you before I even meet you. And then I meet you and I'm like, he's so much more grounded and solid than most of the people my age or even older, right? Do you ever feel like you have a lot to prove in that sense?
Yeah, people have doubted me ever since I started anything, even when I was small. You know, people have doubted me. People have told me that I would never be in the position that I am today. And I thank Allah every single day that I never listened to the bullshit that they tried to put in my mind. You know, and I'm very thankful to God, because imagine if I did.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be here. So, yeah, you know, when they told me, one of the biggest things that they told me when I started Muay Thai, why are you training? Like this was after a few fights.
Who is they, by the way?
Like
just like anyone older than you, or
anyone older than me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say family members, but like
people around you in society.
People around me, you know. And they would say, Johan, why are you training? There's no money in Muay Thai. You can't be anything, because Muay Thai wasn't really a big sport back then. And I said, so what? I'll make it a big sport. You know, I'll make money. And I just kept that mindset from, like, since I was small. I would never listen to anyone. And I get that from my mom, 100%. So she can't come at me for this. And yeah, I would never listen to anyone. I would, even if they told me that there was no chance, I had this self-belief in myself. You know, I don't know if I was born with it, or, you know, I've always felt like I could do anything. And when they told me I can't, I was like, maybe you can't, but I can. You know, so that's the mindset that I have till now, and I try to keep it. And like you said, prove anything to anyone else. I mean, I like to prove them wrong, but at the same time, you know, I just want to prove myself right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's healthier way of looking at it.
It's healthier, but of course, at the start, everyone wants.
Yeah. No, when I was younger, I had like a huge I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, all of you. Yeah, you know, I got receipts.
100%. I had like a list of like all of the people that I wanted to, like, you are on my hit list.
Yes,
with an S at the front.
But I think it's not people's job to believe in you. It's not people's job to put their belief and tell you can do it and you do this, right?
No,
you know,
you're right.
It's yourself's job. If you want it, you gotta do it. If you want it, you gotta put the effort in. Even if people tell you can't, you gotta keep going. Yeah. Like, even, for example, my mom. You know, she's the best example. She wasn't really like fully supporting of everything that I did, but I believed in myself no matter what. Even if anybody told me, like, for example, it was SPM year. You know, SPM year. I told my mom, Ma, I really don't want to do my studies and do this, because I know what I want to do and I can learn outside. I can keep myself educated. And the thing that I always tell my mom, Ma, do I sound uneducated? And she would say, no, you got to go to school, you got to do this, and you got to have a plan B. Ma, I said, I have a plan, and it's plan A or nothing. You know, so I went into it and I told my mom, and she would just come at me. But once the money started coming in, she was like, oh, okay. Do what you want. She's like, okay, Johan, I believe you now.
Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna believe in you from the start.
Yeah.
Right? You get it. Nobody's gonna believe in you from the start, and yeah, you need to believe in yourself before anyone believes in you.
No, you're so right. You're so right. I'm just finding this conversation fascinating. Yeah, really fascinating. Let's talk about SPM though.
Yeah, SPM.
No, okay. Not just SPM, but I guess like education in general. For your information, I don't have a degree.
Yeah.
I decided, just like you, to be like completely and totally, which is why I'm so entertained now, right? I'm like, yes. I don't advocate for it. Go and study. Don't do this.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a way. It's a way.
It's not an entirely unsuccessful way, but I don't want to advocate for it because it is risky, right? And that's not a risk that I want to.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah, but it's everybody to themselves.
I tell my friends, do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, we're all gonna die, and you don't want to waste your time.
This is in a way true, I guess. Like if you already haven't, but make sure if you're gonna do it, make sure you have an opportunity that is valid. Yeah, and make sure you're not doing it like really like ridiculous. You wake up one day and you're like, I'm not going to school. No, make sure you set a plan for yourself, right?
Don't stop school to do something stupid.
Don't do that.
Yeah. You gotta have a plan, and it has to be valid. It has to be a valid reason.
Has to be super valid.
Even to yourself.
Yeah.
My reason was only valid to myself. It wasn't valid to anyone else. So,
what was your reason?
I wanted to be a Muay Thai star, successful, philanthropist, everything.
Okay. There's some long-term planning beyond Muay Thai in there.
Always.
Okay.
Because I had a plan and I had a vision that nobody else could see.
Yeah.
So school was kind of in my way. I'm not telling people to not go to school, but if you know what you're gonna do, like I did, just go and do what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah. Because I knew what I wanted to be way before I finished school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like school time is a good period to figure out what you want to do, and that's what you should be focusing on.
This is true, but I think also maybe the thing that's different about your situation, my situation, which is why again I want to be really careful with this specific topic, is because we both had careers before it came to the point of decision.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like you started at 14, which means that you were already winning at 14. So when it came time for you to make this, you started at 10. Yeah. So when you were winning at like 14, 16, you were already outside of Malaysia, like champion of the world in your category, right? So at that stage, it becomes a much easier conversation than if you've not set any path for yourself. And for me, I already had a career before it came to my time of choosing as well. So I think for our situations, slightly different.
I mean, I agree. So like that's why I said, that period of time is the best time to figure out what you want to do.
Correct, yes.
You don't want to wait until you're done with school and you've been following something that people have been telling you to do and go get a degree and go do this because it's just mainstream, basically. I feel like you should be spending that time figuring out what you want to do, regardless of what it is. If it's money, fame, you want to help people, or you want to do this. You got to figure it out and put your focus into it. Because if your focus is here and there, you're going to get here and there results. Yeah.
How do you keep focus? Especially like for I think like nowadays.
Yeah, now it's hard.
It's really hard. There's TikTok, there's all sorts of things. I think like I really, how to say, not kasihan, but I admire the upcoming generation.
Yeah.
Because to keep focus in like TikTok world is really hard.
It's very hard.
Really hard.
Keep focus. I just try to remind myself, I got this far. I don't want to lose to TikTok.
Fair.
I got this far. I've been pushing. I have broken bones, split up heads. And I've been through so much to get to this point. And I don't want to just reach this point. I didn't come so far to just come so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to keep myself grounded and try to keep good people around me. Keep, even my parents, even though my mom says things that I don't truly agree with. But she has the best intentions. She's going to watch this and she's going to be pissed like normal. But sooner or later, she'll agree with me.
Firstly, hi, Auntie.
Hi, Auntie.
If it makes you feel any better, Auntie, when I was 18, 19, I felt the same way about everything my mom said. I was like, I know. I feel like we all were. My mom probably was also there when she was 18, 19.
I will do the same thing to my kids.
Yes, I know. And then give it like 15 years, right? And then you're like, damn, everything my mom said is exactly how I live. I am my mother. And then you're like, whoa.
I mean, I don't blame them. I don't blame them for telling me to have a plan B. I don't blame them for telling me that it might not work out, you know? Because I would do the same thing for my kids.
Of course.
I would do the same thing to my kids, but I would still want my kids to be like me. You know, have the self-belief, have the fire, have the focus, and just when people want to put you down, just say, keep going.
Yeah, 100%. You got to stay true to yourself.
Yes.
So I do have a question about your one championship debut. How on earth do you knock someone out in 16 seconds? I don't think I could think like, give me 16 days and I still won't knock someone out. Like, how do you do it? What do you mean?
It's the right punch, power, everything perfect. So yeah, that debut was one of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever been through. I was so nervous.
Talk us through it. Like, what's going through your head? You're about to do this is your dream that you've manifested for yourself.
Yeah, this is my dream. This is what I've been dreaming of. And imagine the night before. You know, tomorrow I'm going to go in that ring. The whole world is going to be watching. And it's going to be my debut. Like, I was thinking, like, this is either going to make me or break me. You know, so I said, just stay focused. You train, you prepared. And that's where my confidence came from. You know, preparation. So I just kept thinking about the game plan. And then I remember I was backstage. There's like a little curtain before you walk out into the stadium. So I was behind that curtain. I was like, oh, this is crazy. You know, I was like in shock. Like, I'm actually here. And I think that's where the nerves kind of left. You know, you've done so much and you finally got here. Just enjoy it. You know, whatever happens. It's up to Allah. You know, just go out there, do your best. And I went out there. The guy, like, I tried to glove touch him, you know, like as a sign of respect before you start a fight. And he didn't want to touch my gloves. So I was like, oh, it's on. You know, everything else went out the window. I was like, it's on, let's go. Boom, right hand, and he went to sleep. Yeah.
And then you're like, I waited so long to get here. What do you mean it's over?
I trained for like 2-3 months. And I was like, oh, I fought for 16 seconds. I was pissed and happy at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it felt like a lot of different things. That's crazy, huh? What a debut.
What a debut.
An insane...
I couldn't ask for it to go any better.
Yeah, and then your next show with one was like also just as explosive.
Yeah. I think the pressure came after the first one. Because now, after the first fight, people are like, oh, you know, he only went 16 seconds. He's not that good. He only has... I don't think he can go 3 rounds and this and that. So in a way, I wanted to prove things to people. You know, I want to silence them. And then, yeah, I felt the pressure in that fight, especially going against that Thai guy. He was known as the left meteorite. That means he has like a meteorite left hand. So we trained.
That's insane.
Yeah, because he was like, I watched his highlights like for months before the fight because I was training for him. And he was just killing people with his left hand. Like, people would just go to sleep. And then I was like, oh, shit, I gotta fight this guy. And also, I just stayed focused. I trained. I had a good team. They told me it's all right. You know, just keep your hands up. And I remember the bell rang. He hit me with the left hand. And I was like, shit, is that all you got? I was like, damn, that's the hype. That's that. And it's like, oh, it's on. Let's go. You know? Yeah. And then round 2, he split my head open. I think I have like 12 stitches up here. You can see.
Yeah,
it right
I can see.
Yeah, he split my head open. And then the referee was about to stop the fight. And I told the ref, please don't stop. Don't stop the fight. Please. I was jumping. You can see the video. I was like, please. I almost got him. You know? And then the fight went on to round 3. There's blood in my face everywhere. I can barely see. And then I knocked him out in the final minute. That was the best feeling. Even better than the 16 seconds. It was like, oh shit. That was what I was dreaming of, you know? Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine the amount of like physical stress on your body. Like, take the mindset stuff out of it. Like, we've spoken about mindset, right? Like, what do you even say to be in that situation? Like, you've got blood all over yourself and it's your own. And now, like, you probably, like, I'm sitting here worrying if you're concussed.
I'm fine.
Johan. Like,
Do I
what?
sound okay?
You sound perfectly
Okay, I
fine.
sound
But like
okay,
in
that's
that
fine.
moment, like I'm trying to imagine like how your mother must be feeling. I'm sure poor
She's
auntie.
screaming at me to keep going. She said, "You better not quit. You better not quit." That's how
Right.
she is.
So that's
You
how
gotta
you make a
interview my
champion,
mom.
lah. Yeah.
You gotta interview my mom. You know, there was one time I was fighting in Kelantan.
Yeah.
You know, I was 14. I was fighting a 35-year-old. There was like a $150,000 bet, like behind
The
you know
scenes.
behind the scenes. So my team and their team, we put up money. Who wins gets this money. And I remember round what was it? I got cut in round 2, round 4. I was a boy. You know, I was fighting a full-grown man. He was like the star of Kelantan. And I fought him and I got cut. I was everybody hated me. Nobody knew who I was. Everybody hated me and everybody just wanted me to lose.
I'm sure because they must have been like I can already imagine the energy's like boy budak kecil ni.
Yeah, macam
kan?
tu kan. Dia macam ini budak siapa je nak datang fight dengan star Kelantan kan.
Yeah.
And I was 14. I was arrogant. I wasn't arrogant, but I was like cocky.
Yeah.
You know, I love to get into people's faces. So I remember I got cut. I sat down, and then round 5. You know, these fights, if you don't win by knockout, you don't win. So there's no point system.
Yeah.
So if you don't win by knockout, you don't win. This is round 5, the final round. And then my mom comes up to me in the corner. Johan, you better do it. There's blood running down my face. And no, if I was a father, I would be scared as hell.
Yeah, like, right?
Yeah, my mom's crazy.
Or maybe she just knows you really well.
Yeah, she knows what she would have. She knows that I'm a lot like her. Yeah, even my dad as well. She would say the same thing when my dad fought. She would say, "You better not quit. You better not be a bitch. You better not be a bitch." That's what she says. Don't be a bitch. So keep going. And yeah, that's one of my biggest motivations. And what was the question again? I forgot.
No, there was no question. I was just sitting here like imagining you with blood and I'm like, I'm worried about you. Like, what about your family?
Yeah.
Right? But I suppose, right, we circle back to our point earlier, right? There's two kinds of people. There's the type who are like, I don't care how much blood is coming out of my head. If I don't finish what I'm already 70% of the way through, then what's the point of me doing all this, right?
What's the point?
And you're definitely that kind of person.
Go hard or go home.
Yeah, because if you weren't, you wouldn't have made it here.
Absolutely.
So that's
Go
why
hard or
your
go
mom
home.
wants the best for you because she knows you, right?
I guess so. Yeah. Go hard or go home.
Definitely go hard or go home. Okay, so another probably a really stupid question, but again, I've never been a
No, don't
competitive
worry.
Muay Thai
I've had
fighter.
worse.
Okay, great. What is a strategy like for when you're going to fight? How do you prep for these different kinds of fights? I've always wanted to know this because I'm like, you don't know what the person's gonna do. How are you trying to predict like how do you have strategy?
I think it would be the same as any other sport. You know, you watch their past fights, you know, you try to predict, and sometimes like we normally prepare like few game plans. You know, there's the first one that will most likely happen, second one maybe not, but if the first one doesn't happen, you gotta switch, you gotta switch, and you gotta switch. So like the best fighters are the ones who are able to switch like that, you know, in the ring, because the fight is so fast. It's like 9 minutes a fight, 3 minutes a round. So if you get into the ring and you have the wrong game plan, you're done for the first round. You lost the first round. So you gotta switch in the next round right there. There's a 1 minute break. Your coach is gonna tell you what to do, and you gotta execute. But if you're not able to execute, that's where most fighters lose. Yeah, and
Right.
that's what I'm learning quite quick. And the way to like really predict, I guess you can't really predict anyone, but I guess you can't really know what they're gonna do, but you can predict it. And I just watch their past fights, you know, and just study them like from head to toe. Like sometimes I would study them from like even the walkout. You know, I know they're gonna walk out and they're gonna look left and right and up and down, so we know 100% about that guy. Fighting is intimate. You know, I know that person better than anyone else. So, yeah.
So like during a week, how many hours is Muay Thai related? Because from a layman's understanding of it, right? Like I see you fight, for example, and I'm like, okay, so this dude obviously he's in the gym.
Yeah.
Clearly, and he's doing a lot of punching, and then he goes home and he rests, and now he's fighting, right? And then you don't take into consideration most normal people out there. They're not sitting there thinking like, oh, in Johan's free time, he's watching past matches. He's trying to memorize like how does this opponent like usually carry themselves, or how do they usually punch? Okay, and now he knows how to deflect. We don't think about this kind of thing, you know. So in a week, how much time do you spend devoted to Muay Thai? Whether that's in the gym, whether that's doing research, watching previous fights.
Muay Thai is a lifestyle. You can't really go on and off.
That's an answer. How many hours do you spend? Well, it's like a full time.
It's full time.
I dream about it.
You kind of do. Muay Thai is a lifestyle. You know, you can't go on and off. But like right now, okay, I would say 50% Muay Thai. You know, because I'm not in fight camp. But when I'm in fight camp, all I think about is how to be a better fighter. All I think about is Muay Thai. All I think about is the game plan. All I think about is, what's my opponent doing? Is he running right now? Is he training? I gotta do more. You know, so yeah, it's a lifestyle. Cause let me explain you the day in a life. So I wake up at 6:30, minimum 6:30 a.m. I run 12 kilometers. The whole run, I try to listen to podcasts. That's when I listen to podcasts and stuff, you know. So 12 kilometers. I come back. I do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do strength and conditioning, and then other days I do full Muay Thai training. So that's 4-hour session minimum, including running. And then after Muay Thai and after strength and conditioning, I go back, take a shower, go eat. That's when I catch up on all my social media and stuff, because when I'm eating, I can play on my phone. I get back to my room, I go to sleep. I wake up maybe 15 minutes before training. I wake up, I do whatever I need to do. I pray. I go to the gym and start training for another 4 hours. And then the same thing for minimum 60 days, 70 days. It's a lifestyle, you know. I don't have time to myself. Sundays, sometimes we get off, but most of the time, most of the time, Sundays are like active rest. You know, you either study your opponent or drill game plans, because, you know, people only see, oh, he's kicking pads or he's running and he's doing this, but there's so much more to it. There's nutrition, you know, you got to cut weight. I cut 11, 12 kilos for a fight. So during a minimum of 7-8 hours of training a day, I got to worry about me losing 12 kg, you know, because after training, imagine the worst part. After training, like hard training, you're getting your ass beat and you can't eat what you want. You know, you got to eat this clean shit. And so, yeah, there's so much more that goes into Muay Thai that people don't understand. Fighting is just 10%. Fighting is just 10%.
Do you ever get like lazy days? Like, you know,
100%,
when you
always.
Then like, what do you do? Because you still have to go do all of these things and you kind of eat what you want and stuff. Like, I do lazy days. Like, I shouldn't be admitting how many times a week, but I do them. Like, you know, you wake up and you're just like, today,
you're tired.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
How do you?
I mean, I guess that's where I strive, you know? That's discipline, is doing what you don't want to do, but doing it like you love it.
Yeah.
So I get lazy days all the time. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, why the hell are you doing this? You know, you could be doing so many other things. Why are you dedicating your life to this? You know, nobody really cares. So, but people care now. You know, people didn't used to care when I was like, in the dark times.
Yeah,
I would say that. Yeah, in the dark times.
Yeah.
You know, when nobody's watching.
But there are no light times without dark times.
Yeah, yeah, it's a perfect balance. So, but yeah, there's always lazy days. There's always times where I don't want to do anything, but you got to do it. You got to do it. That's being a man. You got to be responsible. Yeah, I mean, not a man, a woman as well. So,
it's just being responsible.
Just
really,
being responsible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you got to do what you don't want to do. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
You have no choice. It's either you want it or you don't. You know? And
I mean, this is true.
It is.
I think another thing about you that's really interesting is that you're not just a Muay Thai fighter, is that you also have a brand, right? Like you're Jojo Ghazali, and that is more than just, I mean, obviously the core and essence of who you are is that you are a professional Muay Thai fighter who is like kicking ass, but you're also a brand. You're entertaining, you're engaging, and all of these things. And that is a job.
It is.
And people 100%. Don't give you, people don't give you credit for that, right?
I underestimated that.
It's a job.
It's a job, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that I find really interesting about your situation specifically, is that for most entertainers, for example, like my entertainment kind of business, right? My core thing that's holding me up is the fact that I focus all my time into being Amelia Henderson.
Yes.
But Amelia Henderson doesn't do Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So she's quite chill, right? Like she's not spending physical energy.
Yes.
So I don't do two things. I just focus on the Amelia Henderson brand. I run with that. But for someone like you, you do Muay Thai and you have to focus on being the best at that.
Yes.
And then you also
Promote
do this
myself,
entertainment brand. Like that's wild.
It's hard, but again, that's why I stand out. That's
true.
why you don't have another fighter here. That's why you have Johan Ghazali.
True.
It's
very, very true.
It's true, so I gotta, there's a balance, and I realized that very early on that one championship, just like any other business, it's a business, so you gotta be able to be marketed. You gotta be able to speak. So I put a lot of time into my brain, even though I didn't go to school or whatever, but I realized there's so many other ways to learn.
I completely agree.
Yes, there's so many other ways. And even when I went to school, I wasn't learning shit. No offense to all my teachers, it wasn't your fault, it was mine. It was mine. So yeah, I try to balance it because I realize, especially nowadays, if you're an amazing fighter but you can't be marketed, you have no name, you have nothing, it's not gonna pay off. You're not gonna get paid, you're not gonna get these brand deals, you're not gonna do this and this. So I gotta balance it. And that's one of the hardest parts right now because, like, say I'm in fight camp, 3 months off, 2 months now, 2 months off, I can't be doing like appearances or podcasts like this or anything. So I gotta move everything to right after my fight. So let's say I do a whole fight camp and all I'm thinking about is how I'm gonna rest right after the fight. So after the fight, I fly straight to KL. I do these appearances, podcasts, interviews, brand shootings, the whole 2-3 weeks. I settle it all and then back into fight camp. So my life is literally just on. I never get off. I never get off time. So, but I can't complain. This is what I wanted. It's no one else's fault except mine. So I take full responsibility of it. And yeah, I'm just...
Do you ever wonder what life would be like if you had done something different?
Yeah. But at the same time, with my thinking, I think that I control my life. And if I want a different life, I can have a different life. So I don't really care.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah. Because like say, oh, what will my life be if I was an actor? Then why not switch to acting? I don't want it enough right now. So right now I'm focused on Muay Thai. I want to do this. I love doing this. And I can't be thinking about anything else like that.
Yeah. That's really, really a good way to look at it. Okay,
perspective.
So yeah, it's a good perspective. Really, really important perspective. So Jojo, in 2023, you did like 5 fights, something crazy like that. 2020,
six. I did 5 fights in 1 championship.
Is that normal? That's a lot of fights. I feel like that's a lot of fights.
No. I used to fight like 12, 13 times a year before 1 championship, before anyone looked at me. In the dark times.
In the dark times. The dark times are the best times though, because like that's...
In retrospect, yes.
Yes.
But when you're in it, it's hard, because you feel like nothing's paying off. Yeah. Yeah. But I used to fight like 12, 13 times a year. Minimum. It's like every month.
Wild. So then 2023, you did 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
6 fights. 2024, you did 2.
Yeah.
And then 2025, you've done 3.
Was it only 2? Yeah, it was 2.
Yeah, it was 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 2025, you did 3 fights.
3, yeah.
So how do you know when the fight's coming? Do you plan it? Are you involved in that decision making? How come it's not like a very consistent thing?
Muay Thai fighting isn't very consistent, I would say, because you don't know the injuries that you're going to have. You don't know opponents that will pull out. You don't know, because you got to align 2 people in the ring at the same time. You're both fighting and you're both training. So maybe sometimes your opponent will have an injury and then you have to postpone the fight and this and that. And especially like when I was fighting at like 12, 13 times a year, I was at a very low level. So there was like unlimited opponents. I could fight anyone. So once you reach a certain level, like 1 championship, especially with like my brand and my star power, I would say, I don't want to...
No, of course.
Yeah. Star power is...
No, it's true, because your name, and that's what I meant by you built your branding, and that's great.
Yeah, so like I'm kind of one of the biggest stars in one championship, thanks to Malaysian fans right now. So it's hard to make fights that make sense, you know, because they want me to fight people who will make noise. They don't want me to just fight some nobody and knock him out and do this and this and this and then it's over, you know, because nobody will watch. People want to watch like real fights, entertaining fights, the build up. There's so many things that come into play when you're making a fight. So yeah, that's why I'm fighting a lot less. I don't like it, but I don't really have a choice,
right?
You know, because once you reach a certain level, it's harder to find opponents. It's harder to, you know, because when you're at a certain level, at a highest level, you need to plan more. Like before, when I was fighting 12, 13 times a year, I wasn't studying my opponents. I wasn't training a certain style for him. I was just getting in there fighting. You know, it's like a mystery box. You don't know what's gonna come. And then nowadays you gotta dedicate a whole 2-3 months to this one person and his style and this and that. So there's a lot of things that go into it. Yeah.
Does that take some of the the fun out of it in the sense like you kind of lose spontaneity when things become more commercially viable, right?
It adds pressure.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Because it's like, you know that this is going to be something that everybody's tuning in for.
Yes, it adds so much pressure. But before, when I was fighting 12, 13 times, I was like, shit, this is fun. You know, nobody's watching. If I lose, who gives a shit? You know, I just fight. Just fight. Because I'm doing what I love. You know, but nowadays, there's so many things that go into it. There's so many people who are watching and so many people who have their, what's the word? Expectations on me. And yeah, there's so much more pressure nowadays. It was so much more fun back then. Nowadays it's less fun, more pressure, but this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's also part of the challenge, right? And I think that's like, from my perspective as well, this is why the dark days are so important. Yeah. Because that's where you learn to love what you do beyond the commercialization of it. So that when you get to this point where you're like, damn, really, like, it's become so like formal, it's not as fun anymore, you remember why you're doing it.
It's the same thing as being in a long-term relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. You know, like at the start it's all butterfly and rainbows, and then after maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you start like, do I really love this person? And you gotta stay with them, you know?
Johan Ghazali, you're 19. What do you know about a long-term relationship?
I know more than other 19-year-olds. Okay. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, I will save that for the after podcast question. In the meantime, okay. What was I going to ask you? Okay. Right. So my question for you was that you've reached this really, really high level in one championship, which is considered one of the peak kind of playing fields of Muay Thai of all time. Do you ever get concerned that you have you have achieved such a high level of success so early on in your career compared to peers that it's like, what do you aim for next? When, as you said, like the more successful you get, the fewer people there are to even compete with you at your level. Like what do you target next?
Yeah, I don't compare myself to my peers. I compare myself to myself.
Fair.
So I only target to be better than myself yesterday. So whatever I can do, I'll do my absolute best and just keep pushing. Just keep pushing limits. Like even like I was talking about comfort zones. You know, how uncomfortable can I get and still do it? You know, so I just keep pushing limits no matter what, even if it's fighting or let's say business. You know, I'm trying to start a business or anything, really. You know, how big of a movie can you make? And how good of a fighter can you be? You know, how much can you accomplish? And just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. But I feel like, I'm gonna reach a limit where I'm gonna say, this is fine, this is enough, I'm good with this, and I'm out.
Do you really think that you could reach that? As like will that happen for you soon? Because I would assume that for any physical kind of career, right? Like any athlete, there is a natural inborn shelf life. Because at 70, your body's not going to work the same way it works when you're young, right? Yeah. But you are 19. That means your physical peak is still 10, 15, 20 years away from you right now. Okay. Like, do you kind of have an idea of like when you think Muay Thai is going to survive in your life? Or is it just like you'll know when you know kind of thing?
I mean, I have a plan, but obviously things don't always go according to the plan. Fair. You know, but I don't want to stay in the sport too long. You know, it's very punishing to myself, very punishing to my brain. I want to keep my brain. I want to keep being able to speak like this and inspire people. So my plan is get the belt and I'm out. You know, be the number one and then I'm out. You know, that's all I need to do, and then do something else, maybe movies.
Go be the number one at something else because
Yes.
you still have time.
Yes. There's so many
Right.
things to be number one at, and I can't just dedicate my whole life because I only get one. You know, I don't want to dedicate my whole life to one thing. Be number one and still be number one. You know, I want to be number one in this, in this, in this, in this. So, yeah. But obviously, things don't always go according to plan. But that's my plan.
That's good. That's a good plan to have. I know you said acting kind of a few times. I noticed.
I like it.
Yeah? Would you ever?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that one of the
I
things?
told Shanaz actually.
Did you?
I told Shanaz.
I already felt like when I first met you, right, I was like, Sharnaz is going to love you.
Hari tu lepas tengok apa Blood Brothers kan.
Yeah.
I messaged Shanaz, one day it's gonna be me and you, bro.
That would be a fire movie. What did he say? I'm sure he was super
He
supportive.
said yes, bro, 100%. He said something
for
like
sure,
that.
for sure.
Yeah.
I could so see you doing that.
One day, inshallah.
That would be so sick, right?
Not
Especially
yet. Soon.
no, soon. But
You
you
go to
have
acting
so
school.
much.
Do I need to go to acting
plenty.
school?
I didn't go to acting school.
So not really.
So I mean, it's always good to kind of know what you're doing, but you can learn these things on set. It will be more challenging for you.
Experience,
Yeah.
I mean, you can learn everything on YouTube nowadays.
Yeah, I mean actually the most important lessons that you learn in acting.
You can teach me.
I mean, I could,
Yeah.
but for acting, it's kind of more so like, are you empathetic enough that you can understand the feeling? And if you can do that, then you've kind of done most of the job.
Empathetic enough.
Yes, you have to understand what your character is emotionally feeling, and you have to really like think about their mindset and stuff like that. So if you are mentally capable of understanding, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, you've won 60% of acting.
Okay.
The rest of it is like, where do I stand so that my back is not facing the camera? Or I'm
Okay.
like, let's say there's a camera here.
so that's
If
the
I
hard
stand
part.
here, then I'm blocking you.
So my first movie, I'm gonna be playing myself.
Perfect. Are you actually?
I would love to.
Okay. No, because I
That'd be
could so
so much
see that,
easier.
right?
That'd be so much easier.
It would.
And then later on, then I'll try to be someone else. But
Yeah. Yeah, but being someone else, that's the fun part.
It's the fun part, huh?
That's the fun part.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So before we like come to the end of today's episode, I did want to ask you about some other things that you do in your free time. For example, your podcast.
Yeah.
What made you feel like you wanted to start that?
I had a free day open up, and I don't like being idle. So I told my videographer, I said, let's do a podcast. I called Mama. Mama, are you free? Let's do it. No? So I can't sit still. That's my biggest problem. You know, even when I'm at home. Say I'm at home for like 2-3 hours. I go crazy. I have to train. Or maybe like that day, I'm overtrained. My body's too tight and like everywhere's painful. That's why I ran a marathon the other day. I was so bored. I swear to God.
Johan!
I was so bored. You know, the night before, I was like, tomorrow I don't have anything to do. Okay, I'm gonna run a marathon. Why not? You know, cause my biggest thinking was like, it's always something I really wanted to do, and I never really had the time. And then I saw these social media posts where people are like running marathon, and it's like life changing and shit like that. I was like, it's not that life changing. It's just a run. And also, I woke up at 3 a.m. I woke up at 3 a.m, packed up some water, went to run 42.2 kilometers.
Yeah.
Went home, spend the rest of my day the same.
Yeah, it's chill. Like, what do you mean, guys? Like, what do you mean
Chill.
you
if
don't
you
feel
want
bored?
it, you want it.
Right? Like,
You
what's
know?
wrong with you people?
Oh,
You
I
don't
have
feel bored
nothing
and go
to do.
run?
There's always something to do. Come on.
Come on, like, just do a marathon.
Yeah.
It's only 40 kilometers. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. I'm gonna look at my schedule and be like, oh my God, I'm so bored on Saturday. Let me just go do a marathon.
I just don't like not doing anything.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, that's why I
think
did the podcast. Yeah.
I was bored, so I started a podcast.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I think it's also something that you kind of, that's part of the Muay Thai thing, or that's part of like working from a really young age, getting used to spending so much time doing something that when you're not doing something, you feel like,
Yeah.
I have that sometimes too.
Because I'm always stuck in a routine.
Completely understand.
Yeah,
Completely understand.
And back to you saying people need to try new things. And that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I started playing golf. I don't know why.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Oh,
I'm
good.
addicted.
Nice.
And I love golf. And then, I thought I could run a marathon. So I tried a marathon. And then I did trail running. I ran a 10-kilometer trail. I got number 6. It was like a tournament. You know, I just tried.
Collecting achievements.
Just keep trying and trying and trying. Maybe I'll fall in love with something else.
Maybe.
But as of now, not yet. You know, Muay Thai is still the love of my life.
Okay, so your most recent fight you've won. When's the next one? What are you most looking forward to? And when does prep start properly?
End of this month, I'm going back to Bangkok. So whether or not there's a fight, I'm just gonna be keeping ready.
Yeah.
You know, so there's nothing confirmed as of now, but there's been talks of a fight coming up in Malaysia. I don't know when yet. Hopefully end of this year or early next year. So that's one of my dreams. You know, every single press conference, every single interview that One Championship gives me, I always say, bring it back to Malaysia. You know, because they used to do shows in Malaysia.
I remember a long time ago.
Yeah. They used to do shows in Malaysia, but they're kind of traumatized because nobody really went because Malaysia didn't have
like a home ground person to support.
Star power.
Yeah.
You know, and now they do. So that's why I'm saying come back to Malaysia. It's going to be crazy. So that's my next big focus. Yes, I would love that.
I think that would be really awesome as well.
It would be awesome.
Like
you gotta come.
I would love to.
Yes, you have
to.
Like
seriously, because I think like even for Malaysians, right? Like it's an opportunity for us as well to go and support a sport, to get involved in a community and have skin in the game, right?
Yes.
Because you represent all of us in the sense that when you fight, we
fight
feel like we feel like, oh, Malaysia, you know.
Yes.
Versus if we're watching maybe like foreign, not that we can't support our favorite competitors from different countries, but it just hits different in your home country.
It is way different.
Yeah.
Way different, you know?
Yeah, I would love to. So let's make it happen.
Let's
Malaysia.
Go. Studio Sembang, right? Post-fight interview.
Oh, I would love to. I'll come and be like, what the hell? And then you'll be bleeding and I'll probably pingsan or something. Maybe we'll have to think about the semantics of this.
Yeah, none of the stupid news outlets, you know. We gotta get Studio Sembang. Let's go.
Thank you, Jojo. Okay, so before we wrap everything up, there is a rapid fire section.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I didn't prep him for any of the questions, by the way, so this is gonna be fun. Okay, what's your favorite cheat meal, Jojo?
Cheat meal. I would say cheat meal. Pancakes. Easy.
Okay, maple syrup or honey?
Maple.
Okay, good choice. Next one. Worst injury you've ever gotten, but I think I already know what it is. The forehead one?
Not really.
No.
Getting cut on the head doesn't really hurt.
Compared to?
Compared to broken bones or swollen eye socket.
Oh, that sounds
because when you get cut, it's like it happens so fast you don't really feel it. But the only painful part is when they stitch you up. But other than that, I think my hands, because it takes forever to heal. You know, it takes like 2-3 months. I can't train, and that hurts me too.
That is wild. That's wild that you're just casually like, look, this one's broken. This one's also broken. I got cut here. That's crazy.
It's a cool story. When I broke my hand, and the doctor asked if I wanted to straighten it, I said no. I said it's a cool story. Leave it.
Is it binko?
Is it?
Oh, I can see.
Yeah,
there's like a lump there. Yeah. Oh.
I punched the guy on the forehead, and it hit like that, and I hurt like hell. I took my glove off, and the bone was like that.
Oh my god!
I could see it poking through the.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That's just like the imagery of that is giving crazy.
Yeah. I asked the doctor, is it gonna hurt my hands? I mean, it will be sengit a bit, but other than that, it will be fine. I said, leave it. It's a cool story.
Yeah. Betul lah. You know, but they say you're not a real athlete if you don't have like wounds or injuries to show, right? Like then what are you doing? Are you even Muay Thai? Are you even Muay Thai?
You even a fighter, bro?
Yeah, like what? Come on. Okay, if you had a signature move name, what would it be and what would you call it?
The right hook from Malaysia.
Okay, boleh.
Is that okay?
One thing you can't travel without.
I mean, I would give the most obvious answer: a passport.
Okay, we're cancelling. Passport is not allowed. Phone is not allowed. Laptop is not allowed. Daily house keys. No. Something like people wouldn't expect.
My mouth guard, because I never know when I'm gonna spar anyone.
Jojo,
I take my mouth guard everywhere, even on business trips.
What?
Yeah, even now, like I'm not like really training.
Yeah,
I take my mouth guard everywhere.
Why?
Because I never know when I'm gonna hop in the gym and there's gonna be like this cocky fighter who wants to challenge me.
Does that happen?
Yeah,
I can imagine that actually.
Like I went to the gym the other day.
Yeah,
and I saw this like boxer guy. he was shadowboxing in the ring, and I was coming just to train, just to work out, And then I was like, he wasn't really cocky, he wasn't really being mean, but I guess I was kind of mean. He was shadowboxing, he was like showing off in front of me. And I asked his coach, "Do you want to spar?" And he looked at me, he said, "My pleasure." I said, "Go give me my mouth guard, let's go."
Oh my God. No, I can actually imagine that, because I've spoken to some people who are like comedians, for example, right? And they say everywhere they go, people are like, "Okay, you're a comedian, do me a joke then."
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, super annoying. So I'm imagining it's actually it's kind of the same for you though. People know who you
are.
are.
Streets. I don't fight everyone.
I know, but I can imagine that like at the gym or in a situation where like, for example, there's someone there. I'm sure they're like, "Oh, Jojo's here. Let's square up
all the
right?
time. Let's go."
Oh my God.
I'm ready all the time.
Kesian diorang, Jojo. I'm sure they regret it every single time.
They regret it, but who told you to start it in the first place?
Fair.
You should have said, "No, Jojo, you're the king. Stop." Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say. You're not supposed to say, "My pleasure." You just turn the fire on.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can see where you're coming from now. Okay lah. Okay, if you could pause time for 1 hour, what would you do?
If I could what?
Pause time for 1 hour, what would you do?
Pause time for 1 hour? I've never thought about this. Pause time for 1 hour. What could I do? What does that mean?
Okay, you can stop time for an hour. So you get an extra hour every day, for example. So most people get 24, you get 25. What would you do in your 25th hour?
I would sleep more.
Okay, fair enough.
Sleep, yeah.
Fair enough. How much have you slept recently?
I sleep pretty good. I try to keep it at like 7 hours.
That's good.
But because when I'm in a routine,
yeah,
I sleep minimum 8 hours every night, and then another 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but you're an athlete. You need it.
Yeah,
for repair and everything.
Like
right?
even right now, 7 hours is not a lot for me.
Yeah, I can imagine, because you get used to it too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, last one. One advice or quote that you live by, and who told you it?
A quote.
Yeah, or like a piece of life advice that you can't live without.
This is what I live by. Everything comes in perspective. Does that make sense? Anything that happens in life, there's always a good way to look at it, and there's always a bad way to look at it as well. Just fix your perspective and fix it according to how you want to live. If you want to live a good life, put yourself in a good perspective. If you want to live a bad life, then look at it in a bad way. So no matter what happens in my life, I always trying to find a positive way to look at it, and that's the one thing that's really helped me. Yeah.
And that's going to keep you winning for a really long time, Jojo.
Inshallah, yeah, that's
for sure. Okay, before kita habiskan episode kita, is there anything you want to say to your fans out there? You can say it directly to that camera.
All right, here. Thank you guys. Thank you, Amelia, for having me on. And I don't know, just thank you guys. I love you guys. You guys have been the best. And to whoever has been supporting me since the start, keep supporting me. Whoever has been just starting to support me, just know that I've been the same forever. Stop saying that, "Oh, Johan changed after money and fame." You can't ask my mom. I'm the same person. So I love you guys, and thank you for tuning in.
On behalf of I'm sure so many Malaysians out there, if not all Malaysians out there, we wish you the very best, Jojo.
Thank you very much.
Go and kill it.
I will.
And make Malaysia proud
100%.
on behalf of all of us.
Let's go.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much kepada semua yang bersama dengan kami untuk episod hari ini. Kita akan jumpa minggu depan, same time, same place. Alright guys, bye. See ya.